Okay, I want to call the meeting August 17th, 2023 for the Greeneview Local Schools Board of Education to order. And call the roll.
Suzanne Arthur,
Here.
Chris Bailey is absent. Scott Powers,
Present.
Megan Smith,
Present.
Teresa Wallace.
Here.
We have a quorum.
The pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Participation, public participation on agenda items only. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Mrs. Arthur,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Yeah.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
and Mrs. Wallace.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we do not have a presentation tonight, so move to the treasurer's report. A, approve the minutes of the regular board meeting, July 20th, 2023. B, approve the July financial reports. C, approve amended appropriations for the month ending July 31st, 2023. D, authorize treasurer to transfer $79,515 out of the general fund into the classroom facilities maintenance fund for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. 15th year of 23 years. E, approve the advances for the month ended July 31st, 2023. F, approve the budget proposed statement for the FFA fund for the 23-24 school year. G, approve a $1,000 donation from Ryan and Kendra Esau for the Fieldhouse project. And H, approve the treasurer's report A through G as presented. The motion, you need to tell us the motion.
I'll do.
Great, thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you.
What are we moving the funds for? Is that what they're doing?
That's for the first segment one of the OFCC project. Any other questions? Okay, do I have first is Scott and second Teresa? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Powers?
Yep.
Mrs. Wallace?
Yes.
Mrs. Arthur?
Yes.
Motion passes.
A, superintendent's update, teaching and learning, facilities and operations.
Okay, we had our opening day presentation on Monday, so teacher, actually all staff reported back for the 23-24 school year on Monday. The fun part about that especially is being able to honor all of the staff's years of experience. So we make sure we honor anyone 20 and over. And then of course we introduce all of our staff who are new to the view as well. We talk about the celebrations from the previous year, and we also talk about the huge thank yous for all the work that took place over the summer as well to get us ready and to prepare us for the new school year. And of course, this year, unique to my presentation or my remarks, were to, with all of the staff there, to be able to share where the master facility planning process is right now and how we move forward. Monday and Tuesday also are professional learning days. So we had teachers participating in intervention, reading interventions in K-3, as well as character strong training, building meetings, teacher meetings, special education meetings. So a lot gets packed into those 2 days. Open house was on Monday, and they were also well attended as they usually are. As an aside, one of the things that we'll be focusing on, Character Strong will be a part of that, is going to be on fostering positive school culture in our schools. So that'll be a positive, or that'll be a point of emphasis in our buildings this year and our district leadership team. And really that's about all from a teaching and learning standpoint. Of course, students came on Wednesday and things are going well. Kindergarten has their staggered start. So we'll have all of the kindergartners tomorrow on Friday. Facilities wise, we started preparation for getting the information onto our website for the bond issue. So soon, instead of the little Our Greeneview icon that's on the website, you'll be able to click on the bond issue and you'll be able to get information, factual information about the upcoming November election. And really kind of related to that, a huge thank you to everyone who participated, attended, volunteered, donated. some blood, sweat, and tears, even with the Ram rally. I mean, aside from a fundraising effort, it was really just a great back to school event that brought our community together. And it was really fun to see all of the clubs and athletes and even the band kind of interacting. And it was a beautiful night to be able to celebrate what I hope to be a really big year for us. Facilities related also, the elementary HVAC is partially working, and for where it's not working, we have individual units in those classrooms. So we're as ready and prepared as we can be. We know next week especially is going to be hot. God love REEC. They're, our service providers, they are working day and night really on that system. I could not be more pleased. And also problems, actually troubleshooting. We haven't even had an opportunity to speak about ways in which maybe we can do some thinking outside of the box a little bit, as the repairs are going to be pretty costly. And are there other ways in which we might be able to Band-Aid this? Hopefully not much longer. Bus trailer. We received a temporary occupancy approval for the trailer for the next 60 days. So our transportation department can start moving into the modular. We're just waiting on one final piece with the electric, and then the final inspection will be able to be approved. So we are right at the finish line. From an operations standpoint, really cool on Monday evening. Really the athletic boosters. Thank you to the athletic boosters, as well as the village, the unveiling of the athletic signs. And so the boosters really spearheaded that and did the heavy lifting. Thank you to the village for getting them, I was going to say hung, but getting them put up. And then of course, Mr. Reinhardt for supplying the names. So the sign, there's one right now that's in front of the elementary that have the state and state runner-up champions. Teams as well as individuals. So if you haven't seen it, you can check it out. And at the entrances, exits at each end of town, they'll be putting those up as well. So they are really sharp. So that turned out really well. So that was kind of a fun, one more thing this week. It's been busy, but in a really good way. I want to put a plug in. The Chamber of Commerce is going to be initiating a staff grant program to award dedicated staff, not just with teachers, but also all staff to be included for their to show appreciation and for their hard work. So put a little plug in. I know that they're going to be coming out with further details about that to support our schools. Again, I appreciate and thank. Operations wise, also we do have a yearly meeting where our nurse and our administrators meet collectively. That took place on Monday. I probably should have mentioned that earlier, but of particular interest that I wanted to share with you was the piece of crisis planning. So, even with our nursing staff, that safety and security always kind of in the background and on the forefront. And my final item is a congratulations to Katie Gilbert, who is our food service provider, who applied for a federal grant in the spring of $150,000 to be able to bring more fresh, like farm to table items to our staff and students. And she received confirmation in July that she did receive that grant. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's really awesome. Kudos to her for seeking it out, for doing the work. Grant applications are not easy. And so, yeah, so that'll be a fun project this year to be able to implement that. And that concludes my superintendent's update.
Thank you, Dr. Walker. Okay. On to new business. A, approve transportation agreements for the 2023-24 school year. B, approve the resolution for certification of conditional approval and acceptance of participation in the classroom facilities assistance program. C, approve facility rental fees of $30 category 2 and $35 category 3 for Greeneview schools facility use. And D, approve new business items A through C as presented.
So for C, one of the projects that I've been working on at the end of last year and through the summer was to take our current facility request form that was a little bit complicated and try to simplify it and make it a little more user friendly. And then also look at what we're charging. So I just wanted to, of course, the board needs to approve anything related to the charges. So it's looking at about a $5 increase. And in one case, a little more than that for the $35, as I actually stumbled upon believe it or not, a document that from 1999, that those prices haven't gone up since 1999. So making sure that we're just, again, making sure that document is user-friendly, but also relevant for what we're charging. And actually, especially over the last 2 years, which is, you know, nice, especially after COVID, is that we have an uptick in individuals and programs and organizations who are using our spaces.
Those rental facility guidelines and forms, are those out on our website? So we
Yeah.
don't have a circus.
No, I mean,
Consultation
the
again.
old one was, but like I said, it was kind of hard. It was just difficult to navigate. And so the new one, I have a draft. It's just much more user friendly and really clear and concise. So, yes, it will be on the website as soon as I get it branded and make it pretty. But right now it's in draft form, but it'll be ready for the 23-24 school year.
And then item B is the final step from OFCC, just confirming we're going to continue with the project, so.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Mr. Powers,
Yeah,
Mrs. Wallace,
Yes.
Mrs. Arthur,
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes.
On to personnel. A, approve a change in status for Heather Fisher from Masters Plus 15, step 29, to Masters Plus 30, step 29 for the 23-24 contract year. B, approve a change in status for Kim Leonard from Masters, step 20, to Masters Plus 15, step 20 for the 23-24 contract year. C, approve Regina Heim, home instructor at the rate of $25 per hour for the 23-24 school year. D, approve Jody Luck, middle school guidance counselor, master, step 10, 1-year limited contract for the 23-24 school year, contingent upon proper certification, background check, and completion of required paperwork. E, approve 10 contract days for July, August 2023 for Jody Luck for transition to middle school guidance counselor at her contracted per diem rate. F, approve Jenna Marsh, elementary classroom aide, step 3, 1-year limited contract for the 23-24 school year, contingent upon proper certification, background check, and completion of required paperwork. G, approve Jennifer Gilbert, bus driver, step 2, 1-year limited contract for the 23-24 school year, contingent upon proper certification, background check, and completion of required paperwork. H, approve the following classified subs for the 23-24 school year. For secretary, Heather Lucas, Trevor Cottrell, Stephanie Russo, and Taylor Fry. Building assistant, bus aide, Leah Battaglia, Heather Lucas, Joyce Hall, Lacey Womack, Carol Mahaffey, Jennifer Bush, and Stephanie Russo, Jennifer Gilbert, Taylor Fry, Sarah Budnick, and Michelle Welburn. Cooks, Ariela Scheib, Susan McCulley, Nikki Butts, Sandra Grubb, Carol Adams White, and Carol Collins. Custodian, Ariela Scheib, Susan McCulley, Alan Pippin, Steve Morris, Rebecca Vogel, Laura Hanson, Nikki Butts, Joe Armovich, and Gary Cardosi, Joyce Hall, Billy Joe Travis, Julia Hutchinson, Amy Sargent, and Carol White. For bus driver, Dave Brandenburg, Jennifer Gilbert, Dalton Pate, Albert Phillips, Paul Thompson, Sam Hook, and mechanic Steve Morris. I approve the following certified substitute teachers for the 23-24 school year. Allison Corey, Leah Battaglia, Mark Mash, Amy Powers, Jenny Smith, Barbara McCowan, Heather Lucas, Linda Thomas, Heather Kasner, Deanna Reed, Jane Cross, Shelley Bestie, David Bates, John Morrison, Diana Nestor, Lee Armovich, Laura Young, Carol Mahaffey, Teresa Geringer, James Hoffman, Andrew Van Truss, Angelo, Kyoko Moody, Rebecca Guidon, Michelle Welburn, Cheesy Fleming, and Andrea Niehaus. J, approve the following supplemental coaches for the 23-24 school year. Kelly 5, middle school athletic assistant. Dean Mullican, high school and middle school head cross country. Trent Olds, high school and middle school cross country assistant. And volunteers, Emma Schnecker, high school cheerleading assistant. Travis Thacker, high school football assistant. Brian Payton, high school football assistant. And Gerald Oglesby, middle school volleyball assistant. And K, approve items A through J as presented. Okay, thank you.
I'll second.
Mrs. Wallace,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Powers,
Abstain.
and Mrs. Arthur.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And 7, we do not have any discussion items. And is there any invitation? Is there any public participation for non-agenda items? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll second.
Yes.
Mr.